And that's our basic storyline. Hello everyone, it's Kyle here. Welcome to part 1 of Let's Play Metroid Zero Mission. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Yeah. Now, that cutscene is actually exclusive to this. This is actually a remake of the original Metroid back in '87. This itself was released in 2004. Added was obviously graphical features, new items, new abilities, and really, just overall better gameplay. Now when you start off in this game, you're going to start off with a pathetic beam. It doesn't even go all the way across the screen. Luckily this and the original Metroid are the only two games in the series that do that. And we just got the Morph Ball. That allows us to roll through one-block high passages. Basic story, it was in the opening cutscene, but a little bit of backstory. We're playing as Samus, one of the very first female protagonists of a video game. Her backstory is that she's a bounty hunter, sent on this bounty because she wants to take revenge on the space pirates. When she was a little kid, I was explained, I think, an ending of this, or Fusion, was that her parents were killed right in front of her eyes by a space pirate captain, and she grew up as a bounty hunter adopted by the Chozo, one of which we're in a statue of now. So yeah, that's the basic storyline. She was sent here to eliminate all the Metroids which were created by the Chozo, oddly enough, to fight against something that is in the game released right before this, Fusion, which is still considered the last game in the series. Like it still is. Odd, I know. Anyway, yeah. Metroid, if you're not familiar with it for some reason, is mostly a non-linear series. You're not told where you go most of the time. You just have to explore and figure it out yourself. Then you got... Ow, I accidentally bumped my mic there. One thing that this game does, though, is that it still has the non-linear properties, but you're told where to go. You're given a destination, but you're not told how to get there. I like that. This and Fusion do the exact same thing. And now we get the long beam, which is the default beam that Samus will have throughout the rest of the Metroid series, thank God. It literally just is a beam that goes across the screen, even though I think, if I remember correctly, we're almost always in the center of the screen when we're moving. Yeah. Now, in terms of this game itself, this is actually probably going to be a fairly short LP because this game is short and easy. I'm probably going to get it done by part 5, maybe part 6. Because my best time in this game is a little over an hour and a half, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'd say so. And we get this room. Beyond there is actually the final objective of the game. Well, one of the final objectives of the game. And what was the final boss of the original Metroid? Mother Brain. We'll get to that at some point. But that's actually a nice little nuance they did. That room is a lot different in the original NES version. It literally is just a lava-covered floor that you can actually glitch your way to Mother Brain through it with. And right off the bat, though, one thing you're gonna notice when you're playing this game, the music is fantastic. That's what I love about games, especially the remakes from the NES days. Their music is awesome! Chiptunes, I miss you so much! Actually, that reminds me, a lot of people think the Game Boy Advance has terrible sound quality. No, it doesn't, actually. The only problem is that Sony made the sound chips for the NES and SNES back in the day, and from the Game Boy Advance onward, Nintendo was making their own sound chips. Sony, at that by the point this was released, was on the PS2, I think. Yeah. That's totally not foreboding. And now we're about to get our first missile pack of the game. Missile tanks were changed from in Fusion and this from the original first 3 Metroids. In the first 3 you had to press select to get to missiles, and this you just have to hold R and press the firing button. Now you get to see me epically fail with this mini-boss. This is the first boss of the game. It is pathetically easy. 3 missiles to that eye will kill it. I almost kill it too, but I missed the last shot. I hesitate. And you'll see me raging about it because I'm like just flailing around. See, I hesitated. I probably could have killed him with that too. And there's me fidgeting around the controller in rage. Now, throughout the series, you might hear like little da-da, da-da tones. That's actually my, I might stop moving or something. That's because my controller disconnects. There's a problem with the wire. And actually, that's a good segue right there. What you saw me doing right there was the wall jump. It is a boom introduced in Super Metroid that allows you to get around the acrobating. Be pretty much a ninja and jump on the wall. This is actually technically the best version of the gravity in the Metroid series, in my opinion, because it combines the way you can switch your momentum around from Super Metroid, and yet it combines the jump height and momentum of fusion. Anyway, what I'm getting right now is the first optional pickup in the game. More missiles. There are a couple of power-ups I will be going out of my way to get, but very little times. Because this is not going to be a 100% run anyway. This is mostly just a speed run. Don't ask me why I'm not doing 100%. It's mostly because I don't know where every item is. Even though I've done a 100% run before, I do know that. Anyway, now we get these enemies right here, which only appear in this room as far as I'm aware. And we'll never see those sprites again either. It's odd. Now, I know my way around this game very, very well. Another missile tank there, by the way. And now it's time to meet Mr. Worm again. Now, Metroid Zero Mission, as I was saying before, has new power-ups added. They're technically not new power-ups, they're just new to Metroid 1. Like the one that we're about to get in this, after shooting this guy in the eye with a missile, which sounds very painful. Why did he explode? Really, is the charge beam. This was introduced in Super Metroid. That's why. It just pretty much allows you to charge your beam and do more damage. It also allows you to do the pseudo screw attack. There's our energy tank. They increase your life by 100. It pretty much, if you jump and attack someone with it, actually, you can do about damage equal to a charge shot. I need to get a better position for my controller because I am failing massively. I would probably be in the next 3 rooms by now. Down below there is a map room, but I don't really need it due to the fact I know this game a lot. Considering I think this is the Metroid game I played the most. Yeah, it is. Because as you saw back on the file select screen, I had a completed game file. But that's just because this is a different cartridge, or not even a cartridge. From my original, because of my original, I maxed out all 3 files. Now, one thing I really like that this game does, that they changed from the original 3 Metroids. In the original 3, you had to shoot a missile door with the missile 5 times, and this only once, which saves a lot of time. Now, if you roll into a morph ball on the blue light there on the Chozo's hand, you get all your ammo and life restored. That's pretty much the recharge rooms of this game. They're pretty common though, so you shouldn't really worry. And now we get one of the first instances of locked doors. The first one was back at the door, that right where that head door thing was. But this is the first one where you really notice that you unlock stuff. I just did there was a bit of a speedrunning tactic, getting all the bugs on and bombing once to kill them all. Now, it might not be the best of this game by far, but I will say this, I probably will be destroying the bosses, considering this game actually has 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard, which is pretty much standard difficulty select. The only differences I've been able to find is the amount of hits enemies take to kill, and the amount of damage you take. So, playing normal and easy doesn't really matter between me. Although, nah, I'm thinking of a ROM hack. And if we go down here, we find a Chozo statue that's blue. These, I think, to be honest, I'm not really sure if there's a difference between the Chozo statues. I think black ones lead to something in the same area, blue in the different area from my experience, but I've never been able to tell. That might just be a graphical nuance that I'm just too overthinking. That's entirely possible, too. Now, in terms of the Metroid series, as I said before, this is a remake of Metroid 1. For the most part, it is Metroid 1, except for an extra bit added towards the end, which is why it's called Zero Mission. I'll get to that when we get to it, though. In terms of the Metroid series, it goes Metroid 1, the end, Metroid 1 or Zero Mission, really. Metroid Prime, Prime Hunters, Prime 2, Prime 3, even though those two aren't considered canon anymore for some reason. Then I think it goes Super Metroid. No, then it goes Metro. Then it goes Metroid 2, yeah. Then Super Metroid. Then Other M, then Fusion. I might be forgetting one. I don't even. Is Pinball even canon? That was an odd game. Anyway, now we go back to this area where we got the missiles, so we can continue on with the game. See, we wouldn't have been able to progress there with bombs, but now we can, and thus the easiness goes along. And when I'm saying easiness, I mean it. This game is short and easy. It took me about 9 years to beat, but that's just because I kinda got... I wasn't able to beat Mother Brain right here. And this is a new cutscene added in. The game does this. I'm talking over it because there's no dialogue, but there is very foreboding music. To be honest, those are just forbidden plot exposition. And there's one of the biggest things in my controller acting up, because that's why I was standing still. Now, you're supposed to go... Now, if you notice, the objective's on the right, but we need to go to the left first, actually. And we cannot get that missile tank yet, so if you're counting, like, go get that missile tank, we can't. There are a few that we need power-ups to get that we can't get until later. You know, I have gotten that. You know, I have gone down there before getting the next power-up. And now this is Criteria, a version exclusive to the remake that was added in from its appearance in Super Metroid. This is pretty much the surface of Zebes, planet Zebes, which is the planet we're on. And yeah. They do add a bit more from Super Metroid, as we'll be seeing with a certain item in a couple of minutes. Well, more like a minute and a half, really. Now, I always really hated this little thing there. That always seemed like a dick move. You need that block to progress. And I don't even think you can wall jump underwater yet. Thank you for appearing. Now, a nice little thing I've always done is once I knew how to wall jump, you can do that. Oh, in terms of how you wall jump, it's a bit hard to explain. Pretty much you jump at a wall, and with the right timing, when you about to hit the wall, press the other direction and A. It's a weird little timing maneuver. It's hard to really explain. But yeah, that's the first unknown item. If you saw its appearance, it was actually a beam weapon. That is an item that was added in to the original Metroid that they thought that is actually very overpowered. You're not getting that until the end of the game, at least to use it. And I love the music track that plays during it too. I love it now, but it actually used to scare me a lot when I was little for some reason. See, as you can see on those blocks that are now unlocked, it is a beam weapon. To the right is actually a very tall platform that you normally can't get over until you wall jump. And now it's time for another new power-up to the series. The Power Grip. This is the only game it has a power-up appearance in. In Metroid Fusion, which is, I guess, where they got the idea for this, you have this naturally. It pretty much allows you to grab onto walls. It explains what you can do in Fusion, but why couldn't you do it in the other games? I think that's just me outlodging everything. And this is me abusing wall jump to do a bit of a shortcut. That is literally the highest I could have gotten because, well, yeah. Now, a lot of people think that Zebes is actually a space pirate homeworld. It's not. It's actually Chozo homeworld, but Metroid Other M got that wrong, calling a space pirate a Zebesian. Anyway, if you like this video, rate, comment down below, and subscribe. This is Kyle signing off for part 1 of Metroid Zero Mission. That's probably the only time I'm going to say that. Bye.